Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Meganadha. In this module we talk about encapsulation and we'll see the definitions of encapsulation and we'll also talk about an example. And encapsulation is one of the main pillars of object-oriented programming. Now, encapsule means in a capsule. Now, let's see the definitions. The first definition says grouping of data and functions or methods together in a class. Now the second definition says bringing together the data and functions that manipulate them. So we create data and the functions that manipulate the data into a class. And the third definition is wrapping up of data and functions together. So even though all these three talks about grouping of methods and data together. Now to give more idea about this, let's try to see a simple class. Now here we have a class employee. Now when you say employee, we'll have ID, name, age, salary, so many variables will be there. So that's called data. And how do you work with the data? Using functions. Add employee will add an employee. Edit employee will edit an employee. Delete employee will delete an employee. So these functions will deal with this data. So that's why we are grouping the data and the methods that deal with this data. So now that's a class. Now see here. So this is called data. And these are the methods that deal with the data. Now we'll see some examples of similar functionalities. Let's see this. Now here we say different geometrical shapes we have. One is a circle, one is a square, one is a rectangle. Now here we can group something related to circle into a class called circle. We have float radius and print area will print the area. Print circumference will print the circumference. So anything that you want to deal with a circle, you call this class. Similarly, class square deals with this object. Class rectangle deals with this object. Okay, so here we grouped class circle. We grouped all the variables and methods deals with into the circle, and the variables and that deals with the square we grouped here. And the variables and methods that deals with the rectangle we grouped here. So we made three classes here. Now let's talk about some real world example. Let's take a company called Amazon. So Amazon will have a lot of entities that we discussed in the previous module. So it can be employee, or it can be customer, or it can be seller, it can be a product, it can be orders. So we'll have a lot of entities. So employee class will deal with all data like employee, employee name, salary, everything will be in employee class. And customer will have add customer, edit customer, delete customer. So all these methods will be there along with like customer name, email address, mobile number. So that's the data. Now seller will have a class which is created for seller, and it'll have like seller ID, what products he sell, and how to deal with that using add seller, edit seller. We'll also have products. So products will have product ID, product name, product price, and product size, product color. So everything, product model. So that is all the data, and the methods that deal with the product are add product, edit product, etc. So now order will have order ID, a list of products in the order, and place an order, edit an order, delete an order. So all those methods will be there in this. So that's how we categorize different entities and we create separate classes, so that in future if I want to refer anything related to employee, I can directly refer employee class. If I want to get anything related to product, I can directly go to product class. So that's why encapsulation talks about grouping of similar methods and data into a class for better security, for better reusability, for modularity. So that's is encapsulation. Now let's see a small demo on how do we create a class in Eclipse IDE, and let's get started. Now I just open Eclipse IDE and I'm going to create file, new. I'll select here project, and I'll select Java project, click on next, and I'll write the project name as project 1. Now I want to create a new, I'm fine with this location, or project 1001. So I'm just giving some name for it, and let's click on next and click on finish. Now I want to create module info.java and click on finish. Now you can see here project 1001 got created. Now inside this I have an src. Now right click on this, create new. I'll create a package because package is a group of classes. Now I'll write here Amazon entities. Now inside this I'll be creating, right click on this, new class, and this time I don't want to create main method. I just want to create a class. I'll give the class name as employee. Now I created class employee.java. Similarly, when you're working on, so let me increase the font size, Control Shift plus. Now here I'll be writing all the variables and methods related to employee here. Now right click on this, add new class, and here I'll be writing here customer, and click on finish. Now here I'll be writing methods that deals with customer. So when you're writing a real world project, you will see like this. So you'll see Amazon entities or package, and inside that you'll see all the classes. And inside the class you will see variables that deal with customer. So let's take customer, means you'll have like public int. Don't worry about public for now. I'll be writing here CID, customer ID, and public string, CNAME, customer name, public int, age, or public string, email. So like this, all the data that is related to customer we'll be putting in as variables, and then we'll put methods that deals with these variables, like add customer. So I'll write here public void. Don't worry about void as well, so I'll be explaining later. Add customer. Void means the method will not return anything but just do some task for us. Now I'll be writing here enter. Now you can see, so you'll be writing functionality inside this that adds this data into the system. So we write this add customer. Similarly, edit customer and delete customer. So we have variables or the data that describes a customer and methods that do something with this data. So that is encapsulation. Okay, so I hope you are clear with what is encapsulation. In simple terms, encapsulation is just creating class with variables and method inside it that deals with a simple entity. I hope this is clear, and see you in the next module.